in January, or when we all try to swear in January, listen, there's going to be less Republicans than we had in the 118th, right? Because the story has not really been told about how strongly House Democrats performed. But here's the deal. There is no fixing this without the Democrats. We have seen this over and over. And I'm just going to sit back and sip my tea and wait on them to figure it out.
Not on my watch. Not on my watch.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Mika, and we're back for another Red Cup Talks because, you know, once we have the Red Cup, we're about to spill some truth. And today I wanted to come on and talk about our favorite House representative right now, Miss Butterfly Lash, Jasmine Crockett, okay? Miss Jasmine Crockett had a lot to say about Elon Musk and going off like the rest of the media. But yet, she's in the House and she wanted to say, hey, well, it's not going to be our fault if the government shuts down, but it is. We did a video on her going to count illegal immigrants in the census just so she can get the numbers so Democrats can get more seats in the House. Now I understand why they have more seats in the House. They got those immigrants. I want you guys to see what MSNBC and Ms. Jasmine Crockett had to say about Elon Musk and the Republicans and the shutdown looming over D.C.
Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries said that if Republicans shut down the government, Democrats will make sure the American people know who is responsible.
House Republicans will now own any harm that is visited upon the American people that results from a government shutdown or worse.
Joining me now is Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, Democrat of Texas, a member of the House Oversight Committee. Congresswoman, thank you for being here tonight.
I just have one question before she talks. Can she see? You guys see how I'm blinking, but you can still see the white of my eyes? Can she see?
Is happening in the House of Representatives? This was supposed to be just, you know, a pro forma exercise. They're going to pass this year, and it has turned into an utter debacle with people openly calling for Speaker Johnson to be thrown out of the Speaker's office. How are Democrats looking at this?
Listen, we're looking at this like this is their problem. We have seen this play out over and over in the entire 2 years that I've been in Congress. We know that they had a problem picking a speaker when I first got to Congress. And I thought since they held on to the speaker a little bit longer than they held on to McCarthy, that I could go into January knowing that Mike Johnson would be the speaker. But now they're calling for his ouster. And remember, this is not like one of the most senior members, right? So basically, he had not burned enough bridges. And so they had to go way down in seniority to find someone that they could come to a consensus on. When they swear in January, or when we all try to swear in January, listen, there's going to be less Republicans than we had in the 118th, right? Because the story has not really been told about how strongly House Democrats performed while the Republicans won the White House, while they ended up picking up so many seats in the Senate. You know who lost seats? The House, right? Now, should we have a Speaker Jeffries? Absolutely. If North Carolina didn't take away our seats, we would have a Speaker Jeffries, and we would not be in this situation.
Run that back by me again. She said, what?
Right? Now, should we have a Speaker Jeffries? Absolutely. If North Carolina didn't cheat and take away our seats, we would have a Speaker Jeffries, and we would not be in this situation. But
if North Carolina did not cheat and take away their seats, they would have a Speaker Jeffries. North Carolina cheated? Ma'am, half of North Carolina is still sitting underwater. What are you talking about? They don't want Democrats. You're doing a crappy job right now. Where's Kamala? Where's Kamala? Where's Kamala? She hasn't been to the border. She hasn't been to North Carolina. Like, where is she? Oh, I know where she is. She's out here in Maryland still begging for money. That's where she is. She's not in where she's supposed to be, because she's too busy now thinking about California.
here's the deal. There is no fixing this without the Democrats. We have seen this over and over. And I'm just going to sit back and sip my tea and wait on them to figure it out.
Or maybe sip something stronger. I'm just saying it. Hakeem Jeffries, you talk about leader Jeffries and say,
girl, it was not that funny. But at the end of the day, I don't know what she's talking about. All right. North Carolina didn't cheat you out of anything. The people in North Carolina just did not want Democrats. But at the end of the day, the Republicans should not be voting for this pork spending bill. And shame on the Democrat for wanting to try to get this through the last minute. Waited to the last minute so that Mike Johnson can be in this position. But Mike Johnson should have also told you no. So that's on him too. All of them, everybody in the House can get it.
He said in a statement, House Republicans have been ordered to shut down the government and hurt the working class Americans they claim to support. You break the bipartisan agreement, you own the consequences that follow. Am I to understand from that statement that Democrats are willing to see Republicans shut down the government and not bail them out?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you know, I take my lead from my actual leader. I don't work against him, which is what Mike Johnson has to deal with all the time. You know, the lack of cohesiveness on that side is why this has been the most unproductive Congress.
That is full of BS. It's the most unproductive Congress because it's an unproductive Congress, okay? Congress, as a matter of fact, Congress tends to be worse than the president, okay? Because you guys, most of the times, are lame ducks. You don't do anything. And you want to raise. No, we're not. We don't want it. Deal with it.
All over X and everything is like, well, they don't deserve anything. They're so unproductive. Let me tell you, the people that y'all keep putting in charge are the reason that we are unproductive, because they don't understand how to govern. And honestly, they don't even have a will to govern.
So because she wants to do more spending, she thinks she's being productive. She thinks because she sits there and say, yeah, let's fund this, let's fund that, I'm being productive. That's not being productive. That's just sitting there and spending my tax dollars without a care in the world. You know, like the tax dollars you wanted to spend on those illegal immigrants sitting on farms, or like the tax dollars you wanted to spend, you know, just doing your little pet projects in DC. Like, please, like butterfly lash, please open your eyes and see that we don't want it.
And the fact that they are allowing somebody who basically is a shadow president to come out and tell them what to do, including Donald Trump, because listen, we know that Elon, as they have touted about how they need to get rid of the immigrants, let me be clear, Elon cannot become president of the United States because he is an immigrant.
Elon is a U.S. citizen. Ma'am, those people that you keep counting in the census are not U.S. citizens. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. They're not U.S. citizens. I just wanted to clear that up really quick because I don't think she knows that.
Who has gained U.S. citizenship later on in life. So he's not qualified to be, or he's not allowed to be under our Constitution. So instead, he decided that he was going to buy a president. And right now he is pulling all the strings on Trump. But I think that it's funny that they want to talk about money and talk about what we're spending it on. But I've yet to hear that him or Vivek or any of them is going to say, you know what, we know that it would be a conflict of interest if we continue to take the millions and millions of dollars from the federal government that we normally receive. So we are not going to do that while also making decisions about what to do on the budget for.
You sound stupid. And I know you're stupid now. I know you're dumb. Tesla, okay, is actually manufactured where? America. By golly. That's what you want. You want businesses here in America, you know, doing business in America. And how do you do it? You give them breaks. I know she's dumb. Like, she's so stupid because she's used to, you know, she grew up in, she's a millennial, Gen Zer, you know, we're the same, around the same age, you know, and she's used to that NAFTA, everything just, you know, we just get everything imported. Or all the jobs are overseas, you know, she's used to that. Or everybody that, you know, works is illegal. That's what she's used to. Because that's what we grew up off of. Well, ma'am, it's a new day. We don't want it. I keep telling you, just open your eyes, lift the lash up, open your eye. We don't want it.
For the federal government.
I guess the question is, it's chaos, right? The car guy, the rocket guy is now dictating legislative priorities, scuttling bills in the House of Representatives that could shut down the government. The speaker, who was elected after a lot of back and forth inside the House Republican Conference, could be on his way out in 3 weeks. The question, I guess, is, do you worry as Democrats that what might come after Mike Johnson could be potentially worse than what you have now?
I don't think it can get any worse. I mean, here's the deal. We thought that Mike Johnson was even worse than McCarthy. And Mike Johnson had to realize, in order to get anything done, that he had to come and talk to us. Listen, if they want to be successful, then all they've got to do is come together as a caucus. But the reality is that you've got bomb throwers. You don't have a unified caucus, and they are going to have a one-seat majority. What does that mean? Ultimately, they're going to have 217 people, while we have 215 on the Democratic side. That means they lose one vote. If one person, because you have to have a majority, if it's 216 to 216, it fails. Let me tell you, this quote unquote mandate that MAGA thinks exists, it ain't going nowhere.
Not on my watch. Okay. Not on my watch. Will you sit here and try to talk about MAGA? Because I'm going to tell you this right now. Yes, we do have a mandate. Okay. You guys lost majorly. You guys lost majorly. The only reason you probably won the seats that you have is because they're doing what I suppose that you are doing, which is adding those illegal immigrants, all right, and putting them on voter rolls, which we know is true. I've done plenty of stories on them, putting them on voter rolls when they go and apply at the DMV. They're getting counted in the census under you. And what are they doing? They're getting counted, and you guys are getting seats in your districts where they know that it's Democratic. Like, that's how you guys play the game. And that's why you want that border open. That's why you don't want the border czar taking people out their homes. But guess what? It's going to happen. And we're tired of it. Ma'am, stop playing with us. We have a mandate and we're going to do it. You're not going to get, I don't care if that government shuts down for 1,000 damn years. Okay. At the end of the day, you better come up with a one-page document. We are not funding that nonsense. We don't want it. Okay, maybe your constituents want to pay for your eyelashes. We don't. We're not giving you a raise. We want to see them emails, and we're not helping your illegal immigrants on the farm. We don't want it.
Because they literally can't do the basics. We have passed the least amount of bills in this Congress because of the Republicans. And let me remind you, because you brought up the debt ceiling. Remember why the last speaker got kicked out? It was because he raised the debt ceiling, and all of it. And Trump was the one calling for his head. Now he's like, raise the debt ceiling. You know why?
Oh, no. Trump is calling to raise the debt ceiling under you, meaning under Democrats. We don't want to do it. But if you're going to do it, raise it under you. But, you know, Ms. Crooked here, she doesn't understand how government really works, and she worked in government. I don't understand this. Why do you want to keep raising the decimal? Like you that's like having a credit card. Oh, I reached 600, just raise it up to 1,200. No, find a way to work in the limits that you have. And they don't want to do it. They want to keep raising it because they don't know how to budget. That's like a wife that's a homemaker that can't budget the house. She got to go.
Because his Trump tax cuts, this old con that he has, right, that helps out all the billionaires that he's putting into his administration, or at least is hoping to put into his administration, those Trump tax cuts, they expire in 2025. Mind you, he is the only president we've ever had that in one term ran our debt up to $8 trillion. So he already knows he's about to run our debt up. So he doesn't want to have to deal with the debt ceiling. Instead, he wants us to do it. Listen, I ain't got no favors for you, Trump. When you
Did she just sit there and tell that lie? I know you did not tell that butterfly lie. I know you did not lift your eyelash to say that Donald Trump is the only president that... When we got Barack Obama bailing out the banks, the housing crisis, when we got George W. Bush in the wars, and the cronies that benefited from the wars, all the contractors. Is she serious? Joe Biden, the highest inflation since World War II? I know she didn't fix her eyelash to say that. She really lifted her eyelash up to tell us that.
When you get here, then yes, you will have the House, the Senate, as well as the White House, and y'all can see if y'all can figure it out. But right now, I am not trying to shut down this government, because let me tell you, whether you're a Democrat, Republican, or independent, when you are traveling over these holidays, you may end up with some problems, because TSA is federal government, because those that are doing air traffic control to make sure that we're safe, that's federal government. If you are concerned about the border, let me tell you, that is also federal government officers. And so, yes, if you're concerned about our international security, guess what? Our military personnel will not get paid, all because you don't want to help out those that need help.
Like, stop playing with us, Crooked. Okay? I don't know who she thinks she's fooling. Maybe she thinks she's talking to some illegal immigrants that don't, they don't know, we don't know no English. No, we're from here. We know what we're talking about. But when I tell you she's dead serious, she's dead serious. I can finally see the whites, because she had to lift her whole face to get those lashes up. And to tell that bow-faced lie, like, I can't take it.
As relates to seniors, you don't want to help out farmers. You don't want to help out our veterans. These are the things that were in the bill. And for those that want to talk about a COLA, let me tell you, there is no language about the COLA. So stop saying that there is a 40% increase. It is actually silent. And you know why? Because there is a law that is in place, because in exchange for a COLA that we give out to our staffers all the time, you know what we had to give up? We had to give up honorariums. We had to give up being able to work on the side. But you know what we also have to do is we have to pay for a house in the district that we live in, as well as we have to pay for housing in DC.
What's your point? What is your point? You get paid well. If you cannot make $200,000 work, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. Stop buying them earrings that you got on, and stop, for the life of me, spending all that money on them lashes, because they don't look good. They don't.
That is the reality of the pay raise, or I think you're using the official legislative terms for it, that was in the bill that has just been killed by Elon Musk, Donald Trump, maybe even J.D. Vance. I'm not sure. There's so many cooks in the kitchen. Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, with just a few thoughts and feelings about what is happening in the chaotic House-run House of Representatives. Thank you so much.
All right, so you guys just saw that. And Jasmine Crockett actually speaks for her party, all right? All of them think exactly like she thinks. All of them think that spending is the way, okay? Having illegals on farms and funding those, that's our way. That's the American way now, all right? Just spending is the American way. What happened to being efficient? That's why they don't like Doge. They don't want to be efficient. They want to keep spending as if they have an infinite supply. Oh, they do. The American workers. I truly hope Donald Trump goes ahead and puts somebody in place that can really just wipe income taxes out, because it's not constitutional. How do you tax money from working? It doesn't even make any sense. We're not a corporation, or are we? Okay. So at the end of the day, you guys, this lady is nuts, all right? It's official. She's nuts. I don't know what else to say about this woman other than that I wish she'd just go ahead and get some strip lashes, because the individuals are killing her face. Like, I can never look at her face. It's just dragging down. Like, ma'am, open your eyes and see that we don't want more spending. So you guys get down in the comments and let me know what you think about Jasmine Crockett and her not wanting to lift her lashes to open her eyes and see that we just don't want to keep spending. All right. And most of these people in the House, whether Democrat or Republican, are going to have to deal with the American people through Doge. We want efficiency, and we want it now. It's your girl, Mika. Don't forget to check out my other Jasmine Crockett video, because it just shows you we're on a saga here of Miss Crockett, okay? And Fani Willis and the rest of the Democrat 92%. All right. It's your girl, Mika, and I'm out. Peace.